We spent the first few months of 2024 working on a new and improved song editor for Strum Machine, and it's finally ready for you to try out. I'm going to show you around the new interface, show you some things that have changed, and I'll also throw in a couple tips and tricks along the way. The first thing you might notice is that the new editor doesn't have those green and red plus minus buttons near the selected chord. We move those buttons down here. We did this to make it easier to add a bunch of cells in a row if you're using a mouse or you're on a touchscreen. I don't think anyone will miss having to chase that little green button across the screen. We've got a few chords to choose from down here in the chord palette. These will be chords currently in use in the song and/or a few commonly used chords. If you need some other chords, you can open up the chords menu to access all the chords. You'll notice there are quite a few more options to choose from here than there used to be. We've got the vast majority of chords that you'll ever need right here. But wait, there's more. You can click these plus icons here to reveal more. More major chords, dominant chords, minor chords, and altered chords. Pretty much any chord that a guitar can physically reproduce, you'll find it here. Though if you still feel something is missing, send me a note. I'd love to hear about it. You can set the bass note, make a slash chord as before. I still have some work to do on this interface, but it's already an improvement over what we had before. And that's chords. The effects and chart menu have not really changed, although if you use subdivided beats, you'll be happy to know that it works more smoothly now. You can use the keyboard to edit subdivided beats as well. Speaking of the keyboard, as before, there are keyboard shortcuts for almost everything that you might want to do in the editor. Backspace for removing cells, spacebar for adding new cells. You can type out chords mostly by just typing them out. And these tabs will show you other keyboard commands for other things that you can do. If you want to be quick with making songs in Strum Machine, using the keyboard is the best way to increase your speed at adding new songs. Settings here is new. In the past, you were unable to change settings while editing a song. You could only do that in playback mode from the sidebar. Now, quite a few settings can be changed in this settings menu. In particular, the chord system preference now applies in the editor. So we can change to using numbers instead of letters. I can click that. Now I'm editing with numbers. I want to change these chords to a 2 chord. I just select them and choose the 2 chord. Oh yeah, in case you didn't know, you can click and drag to multi-select a bunch of cells and change them all at once. I can press the 5 key on my keyboard to change to a 5 chord, as you might expect. Clipboard commands work as in other applications, so I can select this line and copy it, then paste it again. I can undo, redo. Oh, one other thing I wanted to point out. While we were doing usability testing for this update, we learned that many folks were not aware of the Here As You Edit feature. It's accessed by this little ear icon, which is easier to see now than it used to be. When you enable Here As You Edit, then you'll hear the chords strummed anytime you change chords. You click to a different chord, or you type in a new chord. You might find this either very useful or very annoying, and that's why we make it easy to turn on and off just by clicking the ear here. So that's the new editor in a nutshell. We hope you find it easier and more pleasant to use than what was there before. And part of what's going on behind the scenes here is that we're making changes to the interface that will allow us to add more functionality to the editor in the future. Things like instrument instructions and time signature changes, a bunch of things that have been requested over the months and years. And we'll be able to do it in a more thoughtful and streamlined way. So we've laid the groundwork for it. I'm pretty excited about some of the stuff we've got planned, and I'll talk more about that in some other video in the future. But for now, please enjoy the new editor. And if you find anything broken or difficult to use or confusing in any way, please shoot me an email. Just use the help button in the top right corner, because I would love to get this thing as polished as I possibly can. Thanks, have fun.